video wasn't planned at all, as most of them aren't. I say that. Most of my videos aren't planned. I don't plan them out. I try to take just real life stuff, right? Just real life stuff. And then I make videos out of them. I don't know if that's the right way to do it. It's just the way I kind of do it. Every once in a while, I'll kind of plan one out in a small little way, or like I have an idea. I don't really know how to do it. But my best videos, in my opinion, my favorite videos, are the ones that happen in real life. I don't even think they're a video, and then something comes along. I did this Sunline video. I'm actually wearing the shirt. I did the Sunline video about the Sunline bag. Here's the bag I'm talking about. Okay? I didn't think much of it. When Sunline sent me the bag and they were like, here you go, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm like, let me do something about that bag because I like it so much. It's something that I really like. It's something that I use all the time. I take it everywhere I go. Whatever. Well, then all of a sudden, in one of the comments, and usually y'all know me, I'll go back and like kind of, if I make a video on a comment, I'll read you the exact words. I'm not going to do that on this one. But it was something like it was I think it was a dig. It was kind of like hey, good job on the, shameless plug. And I was going, well, that's always bothered me. Okay, and I'll explain why it's bothered me. I understand it's a plug on a bait, but isn't like the whole YouTube thing a plug? Like if I go out there and catch them on a bait, it's a plug on that bait. If I go out there and throw a rod, it's a plug on that rod. Like it's all a plug. I think a shameless plug is going like, hey, Strike King just made this new bait, and here it is. I'm gonna tell you all about this bait. And this is what happens on YouTube all the time, right? Some bait, and look at it, right? We're about to go to iCast, which is one big giant shameless plug. But the problem is like, you get people talking about this bait, they've never thrown it, it's brand new. Then look, this one doesn't have line on it, doesn't have any marks on it. This is 8XD, so I throw this thing. And my Pop and Perk, same thing, right? Right out of the package. It's not scuffed up. Like if I came on here and all of a sudden this is like a brand new bait, where I was like, okay, I'm gonna start talking about these baits and you don't ever see me throw them. And when I say don't ever see me throw them, there's a giant difference between going out there and throwing this bait, or throwing this bait, and going to a pond that I can catch them on in every cast, and go, look how good this bait is, look what it can do out here. To me, that's a shameless plug. That's just you trying to build some clout for this bait, and I think it happens all the time. That's what they do. I think a lot of YouTube's like that. I'm not saying a lot. I'm just saying there are things out there in YouTube where that goes on. I don't do those. I've never done that. And maybe this guy's never seen one of my videos before, so maybe he thought that's what I was doing. But there was a reason I made the video. And the reason was, it wasn't some random pond with a whole bunch of fish in there. It wasn't anything like that. It was me on day 3. Not day 1, not day 2, day 3. Why is day 3 important? That means I had to make the cut. I had to make a top 10. Now, you're talking about a top 10. Did that bag help you make a top 10? No. But it was on day 3. I carried that bag everywhere with me. Y'all know I do. Most of y'all know that wasn't a shameless plug. I thought about that. I had made the Toledo Bend tournament was like back in March. I got the bag like a month ago, and I thought, how can I show y'all like why I use this a lot, right? Because maybe you want one. It's not for everyone. Some guys said I can just use a Ziploc bag. Some people said they carried extra reels with line on them. All that's great too. Maybe there's someone out there going, hey man, I got an uncle, or I got a dad, or my son, or a fishing buddy of mine, man, maybe I like to give them that as a cool present, right? Like, hey, because I want to give a present. I'm real bad about giving presents because I don't give my wife presents very well. I was thinking about this the other day. I'd rather spend money on something my wife really, really needs, whether it be a brand new vehicle or something like that. I'd rather spend money on that then kind of something that's kind of cool, kind of neat. She's going to use it a couple times and then it goes in the closet. Like I'd rather give her something that she's going to use all the time and spend money on that. Well, this is a pretty cool gift. I guarantee you they'll use it. You know, you might like it. Like that was my point of the whole video. Like I always like to show y'all stuff that I use a lot. If y'all notice, I don't do plugs on any baits ever. Like if I do a plug on a bait, I show y'all the bait and then me fishing. Rarely do y'all see me fishing like for fun, right? The tournament scene for me in YouTube and then how I've combined it is I don't think there's any more realistic view of fishing than in a tournament. Like I can't fake it, right? I can't like try to do you an infomercial. It's why I show y'all what I'm throwing all the time and what I'm doing in tournaments. Not just goofing around, but in tournaments. I do a couple goofing around videos. And when I say goofing around, just fun fishing. But in tournaments, when everything's on the line, when money's on the line, when there's been people out there for 5 days, when everyone, like the pressure, like when it all comes down to all that, what really am I throwing to catch a fish? To me, those are the best baits. Like those are the baits I want to sit there and be like, man, he could have gone through millions of baits. He chose that one. He could have been throwing a whole bunch of different rods and reels and things like that, but he chose that. What kind of fishing line I have, right? I mean, thousands and thousands of dollars on the line. It doesn't matter whether someone gets it for free or not. And I bring that up because the free stuff, everyone thinks if someone's using it and they're a pro, it's free or things like that. It's irrelevant. Because I've told my buddies, I told Luke Duncan this. Luke Duncan, I don't even want to get in trouble. This was a long time ago. So I was just like, hey man, it was about rods. And I was going, man, no one could give me, they could give me all the rods in the world of this one rod company. It doesn't matter what it was. And if I had to go fish out there and I didn't like the rods and I was maybe getting all these rods, but I had to go use them in a tournament, I didn't believe in them, man, I would never want that. Like I've always wanted to believe in something I'm using. If not, what am I doing out here if that's the case, right? So I thought about that comment about the shameless plug and I was going, well, you know, what am I supposed to do? Like I was actually using this just like I said I was, and I was showing you how I used it and why I used it and where I used it, and I did use it all the time. This bait right here, the pop and perch. Look, I've thrown a whole bunch of other frogs. I have. When we designed this, I'll be honest about what I told Shrekky. I said, hey, look, a lot of these baits are pretty good. Actually, they're really good. You know, other companies make really good baits. And I said, but I want to make something a little bit different. And here's my goal. I'm going to pick the best frog I know of. And I'm not going to mention it, but I picked the best frog I know of. And I said, this is the way I looked at it. I said, if that frog can catch me 49 fish, right, in a day, but this one can catch me 50, I'm throwing this one. I'm throwing it. I want to make one that I think is going to at least catch one more fish throughout the day than that bait. Now, why does that matter? 2 reasons. One, I did want to make something better. I wanted to make something that I thought was better, and when I made it, and I made a ton of videos about it, about why I think it's better, that it can do. Y'all see me, I throw it all the time. I would say y'all saw me throw it at the Bassmaster Open on Toledo. I've made some short videos about it, but I haven't made a YouTube where I'm actually making, that would be on my private channel where I'm doing like a Headstrong series on it. That's on my private channel. But anyways, so they're gonna get to see it. I wanted a bait that would catch them and be a little bit better than everyone else's. Because those other ones are good, I wanted it just a little bit better. And the other thing is this, I believe, and go with me on this is the way my mind works, y'all, and y'all know how it works. If yours can catch 49 out of 50 and mine can catch 50 out of 50, You're like, well, it's only one fish. I believe that one fish isn't going to be a random 2-pounder. I believe that one fish is going to be a big fish. Because if your bait's that much better, you're going to get that bigger, smarter, like whatever kind of fish. Like it's going to be, that's going to be the difference. It's not going to be just another 2-pounder. It's going to be a bigger one. I think the better baits out there catch a bigger fish. I think they always have. And so it's not just one more fish, it's the right one more fish. So I bring up this so-called shameless plug. Now I'm going, well, look, if I got it for free, if I designed it, whatever it might be, I still have to go throw something. I always laughed about that. I'm like, oh, you're just doing that because you're sponsored by them. I'm like, well, yeah, but I have to throw something. If I have to throw a frog, I have to throw a frog. So if I'm throwing this, you're like, oh, you're just plugging your popping perch. I'm like, well, I have to throw something. I have to have something on the end of my line, right? And so it's just not a shameless plug about me out there on a pond. And I'm not talking anything bad about being in a pond, but I'm trying to show validity in tournaments and in doing good and with money on the line, with my livelihood on the line, with everything on the line. This is what I'm going to throw. Not because it's free, not because I designed it, because, man, I want to win. Like I want to win a whole bunch of money. I want to get first place. I want to do all these things. And while I'm not going to always win, that's not what I'm saying. But man, if you're just out there doing shameless plugs, right? Coming in 130th place. If I'm finishing 80th place in tournaments, and I'm out here telling you what a good bait this is, I'd be sitting there going, well, you finished 80th. It's not that good. Now, I'm not saying 80th is bad all the time. I'm saying, but if that's all, if I'm not doing good in tournaments, what good is it? How would I get validity in what I'm doing? Just a thought I'd share with y'all. Like, so that's why I'd say really pay attention to what you see on YouTube. Really pay attention to shameless plugs. If you just see a guy up here talking about some bait or some Sunline bag, and all they do is like an infomercial, I get that. I get, man, fire away at those guys. But if you see a guy talking about something, and then he's going to show you a real clip, not a reality clip, not something he manufactured, a real clip of really what happened to him and how he uses it and things like that. To me, now you know he's putting his money where his mouth is, right? Where he's putting his, he's not just talking about something, you know, to sell something. He's actually just like, hey, look, guys, I use this. It's a pretty good product, right? You don't have to get it, right? Maybe it's not for you, but maybe you know someone who would like it. You're like, man, that's a pretty good idea. I didn't think about it. Maybe I could get it as a gift. Maybe I could do something like that. Maybe I know someone, you know, a young kid that might need it. Or maybe I know someone that I was like, man, that old man used to take me fishing when I was younger. Maybe I could do something, give him something back to him. I bet you he doesn't have something like this. I bet you he'd enjoy it. I don't know. Just a thought. Rather than just getting up there and going, hey, nice shameless plug. I don't know. Of course, I'm really not one to sit there and all of a sudden make comments if I don't agree with someone. I see some cringy, like some stuff, you know, on Instagram and things. I usually just move on. I just don't know if I've ever just gotten on there and made a comment like that. I don't know. Maybe I don't have enough time in my day to make comments like that. Heck, I'm just trying to comment back to y'all because 99% of y'all leave awesome comments or questions and things like that, right? Helps me with videos. I always want those questions, those comments. Helps me think about what y'all really want. Those are the comments I like. Maybe I like these other ones too every once in a while. Just a bad, dumb one. Bad, dumb comment. Not thought out very well. Sometimes I really like those, but don't tell my wife that. She gets mad when I comment back to those people. She doesn't think I'm funny. I do. All right, I gotta go.